What is the one thing you swore you would never do, but ended up doing anyway? My grandpa died from lung cancer and my dad started smoking when he was 12. As soon as I started working in the food service industry at 16, I smoked my first cigarette. I never smoked heavily daily, but still I kept buying packs and I realized I had to stop. Currently doing my best to quit via Juul, but now I just look like a millennial toolbox. Can't win 'em all. I feel you. I'm allergic to something in the patch, so the Juul is my best bet. Get nasty looks all the time though. Pursuing a married woman, much younger woman. She's 12 years younger than I am. But to be fair, her marriage was a dumpster fire because he was closeted, had gambling debts, issues that would make a mob enforced rule, had mommy issues, and was very emotionally abusive. That was 4 years ago. We got married 2 years ago, and I couldn't be happier. She adores me, and I love her. Crying for love, loving someone. I used to think people cried about being dumped just because they were weak, or that they just didn't have anything good in their lives aside from that person. Then I met a beautiful girl 6 months later. She is telling me I'm really grateful, but I no longer feel that way towards you. I toughened up at the moment. Later that day in my room I was crying. I can assure you, man, tears were falling. Me and my best friend at the time swore to each other that we would never starve ourselves in order to lose weight. Fast forward 1 year and my friend develops anorexia 6 months later, and I develop anorexia as well. That was 6 years ago now. My friend has been fully recovered for a couple years, while I'm still stuck in a never-ending, starve binge purge cycle. When I was a kid I drove by some cross-country runners and said never will I ever do that. Well, fast forward to the start of high school and a knee injury puts me out of soccer and my friend calls me up and asks me to do XC. I said sure, and graduated high school a 4-year runner and captain of XC and track team, going on runs 6 to 7 days a week. Lived past 30. In my early 20s I always imagined I'd be dead and gone by now, but here I am, no longer living in the fast lane. Now I'm out weeding the garden thinking of what could have been, lol. I thought that I wouldn't make it past 40. In the slow lane now, also. Drink alcohol, I guess. I'm back to abstaining, but I had it several times over the course of a year, after telling myself all throughout my teen years that I would never drink it. I guess this is a good curiosity got the cat, but satisfaction brought him backstory. Becoming that grumpy adult I hated as a kid. I'm yelling at clouds right now. Get with it, old man, it's the cloud. Same here. I actually screamed at kids to get out of my yard. When I was 15 I was absolutely positive I would never drink or do any drugs. Fast forward 2 years, and by then I had drank, smoked, dropped acid, tripped on shrooms, and had a nicotine addiction. Probably swearing. I hated swearing during elementary, but now I swear in most sentences I say, and I cannot go a day without swearing. Wear MacUp and anything pink. Not much else has changed though, although currently I'm wearing all black and no MacUp, lol. Get married. It looked infinitely boring to me until I met the most fun dude on the planet and tricked him to be mine forever. Become fat. Also start drinking heavily, which I do believe is the main contributor to me becoming fat. When the PS4 released I was criticizing its price as how expensive it was. Guess who games on PS4 now? I hated school, and when I left I swore I'd never return. 10 years later I was a teacher and I love it. I swore to never cheat. Even though I wasn't the one to do the first move, it still happened. Living with someone I love, due to my past bad mental condition, just required the right person. Smoke cigarettes, I say as I'm lighting one up. Oh, here I go again. Buying a Nintendo Switch, I broke down, but I don't regret it. I gave into microtransactions, still disappointed in myself. Swearing, but technically my parents don't know, so we all good. Having a child. Falling in real love certainly does change you. Getting high and drinking. Don't do it frequently though. Not smoking, drinking, or doing drugs. Telling my crush I like cries did not go well. Dipping tobacco, nasty habit to quit. Use the TV to babysit my kids. Drinking, work for the government, have a kid. Use my middle finger to dial a phone. Dabbing. I regret it horribly. Let the dog sleep in the bed with us. Eat a full container of Vegemite.